We have so many stories in our lives, but our stories are not always heard. On the Hear My True Story podcast, we tell our own true stories.
Before the white car backed, our head teacher had scattered. Looking at him, I could only see his tie that was flying backwards, waving at us, and he disappeared in thin air.
I want to share my life story. I want to share my voice with the people because I know that just a small joke I can tell through this podcast, it will make someone smile.
When you ask me what I fear most in life, I would definitely respond to you and say it's fear itself.
We are fighting for togetherness. We are fighting for equal rights. We are fighting to end injustice.
You don't have to be a storyteller or writer because, guess what? Life writes the best stories.
Hear my true story.
This is your favorite time of the week with your number one podcast.
Hear my true story.
Hello, and welcome to a new episode of Hear My True Story. Today we have something very special for you, a call from our friend Balikowa, who's here to share his experiences in Germany firsthand. Balikowa came to Germany a few years ago and has been navigating the challenge of living here, from learning the language to adapting to the work and vacation culture. So sit back, relax, and let Balikowa's words entertain and inspire you. Hello and welcome back to Hear My True Story, where real voices and real stories come together. Today, we have our good friend Balikowa calling in once again to share his thoughts on a topic that has been weighing heavily on his mind: the portrayal of migrants in the media. Let's hear what he has to say. Hello, Balikowa.
Hello, Nakato.
We're so glad you called in today.
Thank you for having me again.
What's on your mind?
I wake up every morning and the first thing I do is check the news. You know, I like to stay informed, but there is something that really bothers me. Every time I turn on the news, as a migrant living in Germany or in Europe, the stories I hear about migration are always negative. Politicians keep saying things like, the problem in Germany is migrants, or Europe's problem is migrants. And I think to myself, I am an immigrant. I am someone who came to Germany for greener pastures because of a problem in my home country. I have tried to integrate into the system. I learned the language and I work every day. I take jobs that sometimes citizens might not want to do. But still, when you listen to the news, migrants are the problem.
That must be incredibly frustrating, Balikowa. It sounds like you've done everything to integrate.
Exactly!
What else bothers you about these stories?
What's more confusing is, in the same news, they talk about real problems like climate change, floods in Germany, fires across Europe. Those are huge, huge problems. But instead of focusing on those, migrants like me are being scapegoated. Did you know, Nakato? The gap between old and young people in Germany is so big that there aren't enough young people to fill jobs. And yet, Germany recently updated their Skilled Workers Immigration Act 2.0 to bring more workers to the country. So why at the same time are migrants painted as a problem?
That really is confusing, Balikowa. The news doesn't seem to reflect the reality of how much migrants are contributing to the system.
Yes! And whether you came as a refugee or as a skilled worker, it doesn't matter. On the outside, we all look the same. We are all migrants here to support the system. I don't support illegal immigrants either. But if someone came here as a refugee, learned the language, worked and integrated into the system, why are they still seen as a problem? I wake up, I go to work, I have done trainings, and still there is all this negativity about people like me. No one chooses to wake up one day and become a refugee. Circumstances make you a refugee, and that's what breaks my heart.
I can hear how deeply this affects you. It must feel unfair to constantly hear this negativity, especially when you and others are contributing so much.
Exactly, Nakato. That's why I called it today. We, migrants, contribute to the system. We work, we study, we train, and yet when something bad happens involving an immigrant, it blows up in the media. Suddenly, those people are a problem. Those people are the problem. It is frustrating. I did not call to say something happy today, and I did not call to quarrel, Nakato. I called because I am tired of how politicians and policymakers keep making migrants the scapegoat for Europe's problems. I mean, if you look deeper, Europe's real problems start way back in history. But that is a story for another day. I'm not here to talk about that. For now, I just want to say, as a refugee and an immigrant in Germany who's working hard, supporting the system and doing good, why are we always pushed aside as if we don't matter?
You're right, Balikowa. It's important that voices like yours are heard. And I'm so glad you're sharing this today, because it shows that the narrative has to change.
Yes, Nakato. That's why we need to share more positive stories. There are so many of us out here working in schools, hospitals, social services, supporting the system in every field. Why don't we hear about those stories? Why don't we talk about what we have done? How we contribute?
That's a powerful message, Balikowa. If we want to change the narrative, we need to talk about the good as much as the challenges.
Exactly. So, for anyone listening today, wherever you are, tell your story. Talk about how you are supporting the system. Let's fight the negativity by telling our truth. That is all I wanted to say today, Nakato. And thank you very much for letting me to share my voice here on this podcast.
Thank you, Balikowa, for calling in and speaking from your heart. You're right. We need to change the story. We appreciate your honesty and courage. That was Balikowa sharing his frustration and truth about the migrant experience in Europe. His words remind us that the narrative we hear in the media doesn't always reflect the full picture. Migrants contribute so much to our society, and it's time we acknowledge those positive stories. Thank you for tuning in. And remember, every voice matters here on Hear My True Story. That was Balikowa, with another wonderful story from his life in Germany. His stories are based on real experiences and show us what it's like to find your way in a new culture, from small misunderstandings to big discoveries. We hope you enjoyed listening today as much as we did. If you liked this episode, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on more exciting stories. Balikowa will surely call again soon to share more of his experiences, and we can't wait. Until next time, here on Hear My True Story.
We not only have voices for a podcast, but also faces for YouTube. Don't miss your next episode. Hear My True Story.
Thank you for listening to our podcast, Music by Edwin Matovo, hosted and produced by Otako. Subscribe to our podcast for more stories and visit us on our website, hearmytruestory.com, for more stories. All the links are listed in the show notes of this podcast.